On a frigid night in the Ural Mountains, February 1st, 1959, 9 young adventurers pitched their tent on a lonely, windswept slope. They were experienced ski hikers, strong, disciplined, and ready for a challenging expedition. None of them would ever come home. Weeks later, searchers would stumble upon a scene so haunting and so baffling that, even today, it fuels speculation, conspiracy theories, and nightmares. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, one of the most enduring mysteries of the modern era. The expedition was led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student at the Ural Polytechnical Institute. His team included 8 fellow students and recent graduates: Zinaida Kolmogorova, Rustam Slobodin, Yuri Doroshenko, Yuri Krivonischenko, Alexander Kolevatov, Ludmila Dubinina, Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, Semyon Zolotaryov, and Yuri Yudin. They were young but well-prepared. Soviet mountaineering clubs required rigorous training, and Dyatlov himself was known for his precision and caution. The route they planned, through the northern Ural Mountains, was challenging, especially in winter, but achievable for a group of their skill. Ironically, Yuri Yudin, plagued by knee and joint pain, turned back early due to illness. His decision saved his life. The other 9 pressed on. By January 31st, the team reached the edge of a remote highland area. The next day, February 1st, heavy snow and worsening weather slowed their progress. They deviated slightly from their planned route, ending up on the eastern slope of a mountain the local Monsey people called Kolitsaikal, Dead Mountain. They made camp on an open slope, not the most sheltered choice, but likely selected because they wanted to practice setting up on a gradient and avoid losing the elevation they gained. Photographs later recovered from their cameras show them laughing, smiling, preparing dinner, and settling in. After that nightfall, silence. No one knows what happened next. When the hikers failed to return on schedule, their families grew concerned. The Ural Polytechnic Institute organized search parties. At first, only volunteers looked. Then the Soviet military joined in with aircraft and ground troops. On February 26th, searchers discovered the tent. It was bizarre. The fabric had been slashed open from the inside. Boots, jackets, and gear were still neatly arranged, as if the hikers had fled suddenly, without time to dress properly. A trail of footprints led downhill toward a nearby forest. Some prints showed bare feet. Others had only socks or a single boot. They were calm, not panicked, single file, not running. At the forest edge, beneath a large cedar tree, searchers found the first 2 bodies, Doroshenko and Krivonischenko. Both were shoeless and dressed only in underwear. A small fire had been built nearby, as if they tried to keep warm. Not far away lay Dyatlov himself, and a bit further Kolmogorova and Slobodin, apparently trying to crawl back toward the tent. At first glance, hypothermia seemed the obvious cause. In sub-zero conditions, poorly dressed, even experienced hikers can die quickly. Hypothermia can also cause paradoxical undressing, where freezing brain misinterprets sensations as overheating. But soon the evidence began to contradict this simple explanation. Some bodies had strange injuries. Slobodin's skull was fractured. Kolmogorova had severe bruising. Later, when more snow melted in the spring thaw, rescuers discovered the last 4 hikers, Zolotaryov, Dubinina, Thibault-Brignol, and Kolevatov, in a ravine deeper in the forest. Their injuries were devastating. Thibault-Brignol had a massive skull fracture comparable to a car crash. Zolotaryov's ribs were broken. Dubinina's ribs were crushed. Her tongue was missing. Some clothing showed traces of radiation. One had 3rd-degree burns. Another had been vomiting blood. Crucially, there were no external wounds matching internal trauma, almost as if the force had been applied by an enormous pressure, not a weapon or fall. The medical reports only deepened the puzzle. The injuries were described as if caused by a powerful force, but with no signs of struggle or attack. There were no other footprints, no animal tracks. Radiation tests showed some garments were mildly radioactive, though not at levels lethal by themselves. Investigators noted this but offered no solid explanation. The missing tongue on Dubinina became infamous. Some suggested scavenging animals. Others pointed to something more sinister. Adding to the strangeness, the hikers' cameras, recovered in the tent, contained their last photos, normal expedition shots, a few night scenes with flash, and one blurry, mysterious image that conspiracy theorists have analyzed endlessly. With no clear cause, speculation exploded. Among the theories, avalanche. The group panicked when they thought snow was about to bury their tent. But the slope was mild. No typical avalanche debris was found, and the footprints were orderly, not frantic. Military testing. Some suspected secret Soviet parachute mines or rocket tests. The area wasn't far from military ranges. Radiation on clothes and reported orange fireballs in the sky fueled this theory. KGB or spies. A few hikers had military backgrounds. Some theorized the group stumbled upon something secret and was silenced, but there was no sign of bullets, blades, or other people. Yeti angle. Tabloid headlines invoked the Russian snowman, but no prints or animal traces were present. UFOs. Some claim strange lights were seen that night, and the last photo might show something airborne. There's no hard evidence. Drug or alcohol mishap. But no substances were found, and the group was disciplined and experienced. Paradoxical infrasound panic. In recent years, researchers revived a fascinating idea. Infrasound, wind sweeping over the mountain's dome, can create very low-frequency sound waves below human hearing. These waves may induce extreme anxiety, nausea, dread, and even irrational flight behavior. If a storm triggered such a resonance, the hikers might have felt overwhelming panic, fled the tent improperly dressed, and then succumbed to cold and terrain hazards. Part of the Dyatlov Pass legend is how personal it feels. 9 bright, adventurous young people, a night of terror, a frozen campsite left like a time capsule. Photographs recovered from their cameras show laughter just hours before disaster. The strange injuries, the ripped tent, the radiation, and decades of secrecy let imaginations run wild. It's a story that invites every kind of explanation, from the mundane to the paranormal. The original Soviet inquiry closed with a frustratingly vague statement. The hikers died due to a compelling natural force. For decades, files were classified, fueling conspiracy speculation. Only in the 2010s did Russia reopen the case. In 2019, investigators leaned toward avalanche or environmental causes, but admitted uncertainty. The families of the hikers remain skeptical. We may never know exactly what happened on that February night. Perhaps it was a rare but natural chain of events. Snow, wind, fear, and cold conspiring in lethal ways. Perhaps the answer still lies hidden beneath decades of speculation and myth. What's certain is the enduring power of the Dyatlov Pass incident. A reminder that even the most skilled explorers can face the unknown, and that nature, at its most mysterious, can still humble us all. What do you think could have happened to them? Let us know in comments. Share with your friends to know their opinions as well. See you soon with another mystery. Signing off, Ministry of Mysteries.